one hydraulic line down. Winch down. How's it going, guys? I hope everyone's doing good. Me? I'm doing great. I got lube all over my truck. If you're wondering why, it's because since I got this truck, these hoses have just been stupid and they always like hook around here and do weird stuff. And I was so concerned with not letting the two-wheel drive truck I had on here slide off as it was tilted that I spaced the hose being hooked around that mount. Needless to say, it exploded. On the bright side, we don't have to worry about this truck rusting ever because there is so much oil on this thing. Now, what are my options? Pay for a hydraulic line, probably 200 bucks. Then I'm gonna need another hydraulic line. Cause look at these, they've been through hell and back. The only obvious answer is to invest in making these lines myself. I have this tow truck, I have a skid steer, and I'm in the market for a backhoe. So the smartest thing to do is get set up to make stuff myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and take off the one that's broke and we'll see if we can identify that fitting a little more. It is a swivel fitting. I thought this might be an adapter. It's not. It just lets it swivel so that you can connect it. We'll go ahead and put it back on so nothing gets in my PTO pump. Now, as far as hose size, it's really rough reading anything. But right here, we can see 3/8. Anything about pressure, 4,800 PSI. Look at how beat these hoses have been. It's ridiculous. With those two numbers, 3/8 and 4,800, we'll go to Amazon. So I typed in hydraulic line fittings 3/8 and I've been on here a bit. Here's what I've come to go with what I'm buying. This blue 12-piece 3/8 swivel crimp. We'll get 12 of those. My favorite manufacturer, Viver, still feels good. We'll go with 100 foot of hose for the low price of $100. Not terrible. And then we will do this crimper. I looked at all of them and they all say like AC fittings. So this one has the instructions for hydraulic hose crimping. So I'm confident this one is for hydraulic hoses. And I make sure to go with ones with a lot of reviews. This one has 4.6 out of 5 and 407 global ratings. And I think they're the same as AC crimpers. I'm not too sure. I called to Don. He said no, but this one has instructions for hydraulic hoses. So we're going to send it and hope this works. Now, there are some male ones looking at the tow truck. I do not believe we need those, but I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So I'm getting a pack of those, crimpers, hose, and the swivels. We're down to one on those. $300. Place your order. Now we wait and resume filming when everything's in. Surprise, surprise! It's another day. I'm just wearing the same shirt. Let's see what we got. Here are the... why does this not look right? God, I really hate ordering parts. Some doesn't look right. Let's see what's in this one. Yeah, see, these look too big. Oh my God. Let's see what the hose looks like. Yeah, this is the safest thing, I swear. This does look like the right diameter. That's kind of crazy. They literally printed, like, this company, they only came out a few years ago, I feel like. And since then, they've been taking over the Chinese market with good products, in my opinion. I have nothing but good things to say about these guys. So, this one does fit in. Maybe it just needs a crimp. Interesting. What about this one? This seems like the right one to me, though. All right. I believe this is the correct size right here. However, I believe I needed female, not male. So, yeah, this doesn't swivel either, so I think I'm boned. Let's go to the tow truck and pull a fitting and see which one screws on, and I can get the right stuff on the way. Okay, now which one? Obviously, we need the female. Interesting. So that doesn't fit. So everything's wrong. Back to Amazon. So look at them. This is the blue loo. And if you look at the photo, they look the same diameter. So why are these set up for a bigger hose? But the label on the box is right. So I think someone at the manufacturer boxed them wrong. And now it looks like Tractor Supply has some stuff. So now, do we run to town and try to find these fittings, which is going to be obviously way more expensive, but it might also help determine what size we need, whether the manufacturer fucked up or whether I messed up. Okay, instruction manual. Won't be needing that. How does this thing work? Looks like this is the crimper pushing up, and we just need dies. And the dies might answer some questions too. It's almost like I should read the instruction manual. Hydraulic AC hose crimper. So it is funny, this says hydraulic AC hose crimper. All the instructions refer to AC hoses. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I have just found a die that kind of looks like it fits. It's contacting on the sides here, not on the top and bottom. I'm gonna crush it and just see what happens. Why not, right? Crushing? Well, it might be different with a hose in it. So maybe we should have put the hose in it. Now let's try crushing. No, so that is clear as day. Wrong. Let's call this a loss. And the instructions a total loss. And let's try a different die and the smaller fitting that is wrong, and we'll wedge it on here and see what happens. I used to build like AN fuel lines, and I think our issue here as far as sliding this on is the cut. I'm gonna recut it. What I like doing is wrapping it with electrical tape and hitting every edge with a grinder, but it should make this slide on good. 3/8, 4/5 of an inch. Does that say 4/5 of an inch? Okay, that should be 800 thousandths. So if we set this to 800 thousandths, that is, I believe those are the correct ones that I just ordered. Those are on the way. We'll have them in 2 days. Now, that is really fucking dumb because I'm so certain we just got shipped the wrong ones on the blue. Now, we will wait on these with the female. In the meantime, I just want to make sure we can get the crimper part working. Then we'll have to wait 2 days for the correct hydraulic fittings. We will wrap this tightly with electrical tape. Now, the trick is to cut through the electrical tape. And you don't want to cut all the way through or it will blow out the bottom side. You want to just go all the way around it. Now, if you look at it, we have a very clean cut. This factory edge is blown out. Mine should have none of that if I did it correctly. Let's see. Let's see if we can slide an end over. So let's see. We need to slide it to the W. I'm gonna level with you guys. I don't know if you're supposed to lube this stuff with oil, but we're gonna. Because this is very tight. And the spit wasn't cutting it. And be careful with stainless steel braided stuff. They will stab the shit out of you. That didn't work. How do we get it in there? Grease? Lube her up. Which I don't like the idea of doing this because I'd prefer for the grease not to be there post crimp. Oh, that is tight. It's pushing on this outer ring. So I don't know if we're gonna get it. What do we do? Oh, I think I got an idea. But it probably won't work. Ow! Ow! Okay, well, it started going, but we got to get it down to the W. And I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this on the swivel fittings. Actually, shit, you could maybe grab it here on the swivel fittings. Okay. We're still out a bunch, though. I'm going to pull it off and see what's going on, which might be a mistake. Yeah, it's pretty in there. Oh, but not nearly in there enough. So what happened was we got it through the first rib and it was stuck at the second. Let's try a bigger impact. Yeah, it's getting there, but I don't know what it's doing to the hose. You know what I mean? It might be like destroying it in a not good way. I'd say that's there. But once again, did it just melt the hose? Regardless, that is good enough for our test crimp because we are still learning a lot. Maybe. Look, that fitment is perfect. So if it just crimps the actual shit out of it, I think that will work. Let's try it. Now, I want to put my crimp point as close to this edge. Kind of looks like it's going sideways, huh?
Yes.
Interesting.
Maybe tilt it the other way.
No, I think, if anything, we should have gone with different dies. But whatever. If it doesn't work, we'll try again. I'm just going to keep crushing until it crushes the other dies. Oh my god. Now it's starting to push them in. Our dies are going all over the place in the wrong way. This is what I would refer to as a loss. It's not the worst. Would it hold? Probably. Would I want it on my tow truck? No. So we'll call that an L. Try a different set of dies. I like the bottom setup. I just don't like that. I don't like this one top one. I'm gonna play with the dies and just try to find some that's set up better. I got the second test piece pressed on. Let's crimp it with the different dies and see what happens. See what that looks like. I'm not convinced that's enough crimp. I think we might want to try different dies once again. On to test 3. I don't know how I feel about any of this. So after all the tests, we are concluding that the red ones are our ticket. They're the 8s. So correct fittings and that hydraulic line, and we will run a test. Well, I have come to Napa because they make hydraulic lines here, and I was gonna go in there and talk to them and figure out if I'm doing something wrong, and then I figured out my mistake. Now in the ad, it said hydraulic hose crimper. I thought that meant it was for hydraulic hoses. No, it's for AC hoses, but it's a hydraulic crimper. So that's just me being stupid. And this became very apparent to me. Oh, hi, Knowles. This all made perfect sense when I was ordering the correct fittings. And if we look at any picture, like that one has no crimps, obviously. But if we get to any of the ones with crimps, okay, this one doesn't have any, but let's go to a random another one. When we look at the actual pictures of the crimps, they run that way, not that way. So I messed up. Not only did I order the wrong fittings, the crimper 100% wrong. I interpreted the AC crimp as a hydraulic hose fitting crimp. So that means Adon was right, and I don't know. I'm new to all this. I've never made hydraulic lines, so this was a learning experience. I failed. Now I'm asking for your guys' help. Comment down below if you know any good crimpers to use that crimp this way instead of that way, because obviously I need one of those, and then I'll work on getting the correct fittings. I'm gonna run to Tractor Supply, see if I can find the right fittings. If not, we'll run to Ace and see if we can find unions to make this to female. And yeah, this video is kind of a fail, but maybe it will help someone not make the same mistake. I don't really know. Make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, we'll see if we can find the correct adapters to make something work, because I want my winch up and running, because I was supposed to pick up my MGB GT or MGA, I don't know, the random little MG I bought like 10 days ago, and I didn't. Whoops. So I really need to get that thing. It's the next day. I decided that crimp's good enough for a winch line, because if it breaks, A, it won't hurt anything. B, unless that winch is at full tilt, it's not operating at those pressures. So I went ahead and slid the rollback out to try to see how much line I need. The reason the old lines are so long is they ran it around this member, which I was trying to figure out why and if I needed to. To me, it doesn't look like it, because like they kept getting caught between here and there, and it was just stupid. And right now, if I make it come out and drop down, I think it will just slide above it. All this stuff is bound right here, so my thinking is none of this post here has moved. So once I figure out exactly where it is, tie in right there, that should be the set length right there. It makes sense in my mind. I'm gonna get the hose off, get a crimp on, and go from there. I actually questioned this pinch point and slid it forward. It is pretty tight, not gonna lie. If I secure it with some like metal tabs to the bed though, it should never get pinched. Look at all this shit I'm gonna eliminate. I don't know who the hell did this, but I hate it. I've hated it since I bought this truck. I don't think that's good for the hose. So I just went ahead and crimped it a bunch of times all the way around to try to just crimp it 360. Looks good to me. This is a really long hydraulic hose, not just one that is on the shelf. So I marked it on the frame. The new hose will be that long. So we will cut it to 13 feet plus ends. And then I will eliminate this, which is another 13 feet. So all in all, this was 26 feet of hydraulic line, one of them, and there's another one. I didn't notice they added this whole splice section. But anyway, this truck was just a hodgepodge of shit put together. That's why I got it for the price I did. But already with that one line out and all the bungees and random cords securing stuff like this thing, I'm gonna chop that out of there. This will look a lot better if I can just clean up the two winch lines. Now, another thing about working on old equipment is you don't know what people have done to it. So this is actually the correct threading on the control panel, the winch bar. These fittings would work if they were female. The ones I ordered are bigger. They're for a 1/2-inch female jick. And this is 9/16 female jick or 3/8. I don't know. I'm very confused with all this stuff, but I'm learning it, so I'll know. And once again, this is another thing. The more and more I touch random little things that I don't do every day, like Subarus, they're my gravy. The rest, I understand why people pay professionals. If I had a credit card with a higher limit, I'd just drop this truck off at a shop and be like, fix the hydraulic line. Don't call me. Don't tell me all the little crap you go through. Fix the damn thing. Give it to me. This is why you guys pay shops, right? I understand it. I'm not in that market because well, I'm fixing 15 cars, and yeah, my credit card limit is not high enough. So now I will shoot to town and get the correct adapter to adapt from that male to 3/8 or 9/16 jig. I'll take the fittings with me and compare, and cut this line at 13 feet, and we will have a hydraulic line and see if it works. Line's all connected. Will it work? Let's find out. Let's see if it will pull a car now. All right, winch is fixed. Is it the best? No. Am I gonna redo it? Yes. But it's good enough to get the MG. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.